Well, I think the biggest fear is that we pass the 17th debt ceiling limit, and people start to worry about technical defaults and downgrades. And obviously, the government would not be sending out about half the checks that they normally would. So exceeding the debt ceiling would have a significant drag on fourth quarter growth. And then obviously the shutdown is something that also needs to be addressed, because we're getting past that 2-week mark when our economists think the negative economic impact and earnings impact from the shutdown is going to start to be felt more significantly. So I think markets are clearly expecting some last minute heroics, but every day that goes by where we don't see that, we would expect to see downward pressure on equities.
We know defensive sectors have actually fared better since the shutdown began a couple weeks ago. Do you expect that they will continue to outperform? And when do investors start to really come to grips with the idea that we could have some repercussions that bleed into the earnings reporting season and beyond?
Yeah, I definitely think that defensive sectors will continue to outperform until we get a clear-cut resolution here. I think the biggest problem with this issue is that you need to know how long the shutdown and everything lasts in order to quantify it and discount it. And right now it's a moving target. It's been 2 weeks. The impact on growth so far is probably less than 0.5% of GDP. That comes off the 2% consensus for the fourth quarter growth rate for our economy. It's a manageable risk. If it bleeds into 3, 4, 5 weeks, it's going to taint the guidance that managements give for the fourth quarter. No blue chip multinational company with a big U.S. footprint could in good conscience not alter their guidance if the government were shut down for a meaningful period of time, or if we exceeded the debt ceiling. So the longer this lasts, the greater the potential negative impact to equity fundamentals. But markets haven't priced that in yet because they don't want to get caught flat-footed if there is a deal. So it's a very complicated issue, but clearly I think markets have been far too complacent so far and may have to catch up on the downside if we don't get some serious breakthroughs this week in Washington.